I don't know. It's going to be a while before I forgive him for the new Riddick movie, so...
I still haven't seen the new Riddick movie.
He's become a real Mary Sue character.
Riddick?
Yeah.
How so?
He's just like, hey, look at all these badasses. Now watch our hero be better at everything that makes them special than them, because we love him so much.
Yeah, well, that's...
And I don't... I want my protagonists to feel like they were in danger at some point.
So what you're saying is he's the Horatio of the universe.
I'm saying he's a Nathan Fillion of the universe. Doesn't matter what dumbass shit he does, we still love him.
Have you seen the video they made of the two guys in the swimming pool? Have you seen that one?
No.
So
if it's on the internet, I probably haven't seen it.
So guy shows up at his friend's house and he's house sitting, and he goes, "I got this trick because they're gonna have a party." He takes the hose and he sprays himself, and he changes into like this super buff dude. He's like, "Holy crap, dude! You look like amazing." He's like, "Oh, everyone looks better when they're like covered in water." He goes, "Try it." He goes underwater, comes back. He's like this super ripped black dude. He's like, "Ugh." They spray the dog. It turns into a chick. And they go, "What if all three of us go underwater at the same time?" He's like, "I don't know. This could be dangerous." And they all go underwater. They come back up, and it's Nathan Fillion standing there. He's like, "Nathan Fillion? Well, he's kind of hot. Yeah, maybe for my mom." And then it shows like a trailer, and this woman knocks on it. It's like, "Miss Fillion, we're ready for you." He goes, "I'll be out in a minute. It just turned into two ugly guys and a dog." He's like,
nice.
Are you guys into horror movies?
A little bit, depending on the horror movie. If it's Leprechaun Back in the Hood, I'm down.
Because I just found a list of the top 16...
Oscar snub.
The top 16 horror movies of the 2013.
Hit me. What are they?
Curse of Chucky.
Meh. Wasn't really a horror movie. It's a friggin' doll. If I got punted over the house, it's not that scary.
The Rambler, The American Scream, Bath Salt Zombies, Manborg, Errors of the Human Body, Sightseers, ABCs of Death, The Last Will and Testament, I Didn't Come Here to Die, The Conjuring, Come Out and Play, DHS2, Crystal Lake Memories, and that's what...
Dark Horse and Dynamite would be joint forces for the Conan Red Sonja crossover. We're left to wonder what they're going to do next. Battlestar Galactica versus an idea George Lucas scrawled in a cocktail napkin before writing the first draft of Star Wars.
Is Conan Red Sonja really a crossover?
Yeah, it's coming next year, and it's not just...
Well, it's been a crossover many times.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, it's not a shocking thing.
Fair enough. What makes it shocking is that we've got Gail Simone writing Red Sonja, who, I mean, like,
that woman is
a serious, like, intellectual feminist,
strong
writing
female.
What is effectively cheesecake. So it's very interesting to see how she's handling that. And then we've got one of my favorite writers of all times in comics, Brian Wood, who has made some fantastic, like anything by him. Go get the trade. Seriously, it's worth reading. He's amazing. Okay. He's writing Conan. And license-wise, they're owned by two different companies. So they're actually getting together, two different companies, making an amazing crossover that should draw fans from both camps. Now,
and a lot of outside fans.
And a lot of outside fans. Now, the downside is that Brian Wood's run on Conan has been running a little towards the emo. So a lot of the hardcore Conan fans are getting a little twitchy at his writing. So it's going to be very interesting to see how he handles this, because he's going to have to bring his A game if he's running up against Red Sonja.
And also the big question is, where are these two things going to meet? Like, who's gonna buckle a little? Who's gonna push?
It won't be like when
they'll team up and beat the shit out of some snake cultist.
He'll be in her comic, and she will be the primary character, and then she will be in his comic, and he will be the primary. It's
like
character.
The '90s all over again.
It's exactly what's going to happen.
Anyway, it's two amazingly solid writers at the height of their career with really good art backings. I don't know if you guys have been checking out some of the stuff Dynamite's been putting out. But they have got some really solid fucking artists.
I've seen what they've been putting out recently, and it really reminds me a lot of like the early '90s. There was a lot of little independent comic book companies that were getting a lot of. This was just before the ass went out of the market, and and everybody went. Well, and everybody went
too.
Everybody died.
All bets are off. They can kill their main character.
Yeah,
which is something. Superman's dead. Well, see him next week.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt said he was denying being Ant-Man, but
it's him and Paul Rudd are the people that are saying that possibly could be.
I could totally see Paul Rudd as Lang. I think he would do the hell out of Lang.
Yeah, I think that's the one.
And Pym as Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
I would take McConaughey as Pym.
Really?
Okay, the thing you got to remember with Pym is he is the stereotypical 1940s super scientist. Chiseled jaw, abs, lab coat. He is literally the Uber man.
He's supposed to be like Doc Savage.
Effectively, yes. He is that super scientist. He's the man's man scientist.
We should really be saving this for
recordings.
Oh, that's good.
Are you?
Mm-hmm.
When did you start recording?
And as a corollary to my earlier statement, in the second Ultimate Avengers story arc...
Oh, push your glasses up when you say that.
Gods and Monsters.
Now you know he's telling the truth.
Yeah.
Nick Fury actually says that if they made a movie, Giant Man should be played by Matthew McConaughey. He also said Bruce Banner should be played by Steve Buscemi. And
He said what?
Giant Man should be played by Bruce Banner should be played by Steve Buscemi. Giant Man, Matthew McConaughey.
Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
I really wouldn't.
I don't like you now.
I've seen Reservoir Dogs. I've seen Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead. I don't want him angry.
Yeah.
He's a scary little dude. And of course, then they went into the whole who would play Wasp? I was like, well, Lucy Liu. I was like, she's not even Chinese. He's like, yeah, so.
So.
Didn't have a problem with casting Jennifer Garner as Elektra.
Ugh. I have a problem with that.
Oh, I had a problem with that too.
I mean, there have to be Greek actresses out there they can use.
So before we go any further, welcome to Table of Geequals, episode 26. I don't know exactly where this podcast started.
That's the magic of it all.
That's fine. I mean, we're just introducing the show now. So
allow me. Spoilers, no bitching.
All right, there we go.
Now we're official.
Now we're official. Now we're actually doing an episode. Please continue.
I forgot what I was saying.
You're talking about Elektra and how you thought there should be a Greek.
There has to be a Greek actress out there that they can kick.
There are actually no Greek actresses or actors.
No.
At all.
No, there's no such thing as a Greek tragedy.
Not a single one.
Or any kind of Greek plays.
You know what?
The Greeks aren't known for any kind of theater, really.
Leave the Greeks alone for a minute. Could they have at least gotten a brunette? I mean, I kind of get where they're going. Jennifer Garner was big at the time with Alias and all that, and that's fantastic.
And
but
she kicked in that.
Yes, but she
with a big
really...
nose.
I mean, I could even buy Affleck as Daredevil. And if you watch the director's cut, it's not bad. Seriously, the regular cut of the movie was thin, but the director's cut actually added a lot of stuff that made it a lot more coherent.
Okay, see, I've heard you guys say that a couple times. What does the director's cut add? Is it just little scenes that
There's a couple of little scenes, and you know how at the start where he's laying in the sense step chamber and all that, just trying to not be a wreck?
Right.
And he's popping pills and all that? They kept that going through. Because basically in the theatrical trailer, in the theatrical version, after the first 20 minutes of establishing it, they just got away from that he had any flaws at all.
Right.
And
like it was a one-time deal.
Exactly. And it was a much stronger role. And I think he's really getting unfairly maligned for what was effectively an editing problem.
That's cool. I haven't seen the director's cut.
It's well worth seeing.
And I didn't hate Daredevil. I understand how you hate it. There are hateable parts of it. But
Certainly.
I also understand how it could be good. I understand how I'd want it better. But,
well, I mean, Colin Farrell basically reinvented Bullseye for that
right.
role.
Did you have a problem with that?
Completely.
No, not at all.
No,
I thought
it
it was a good look, and it was it drove home that Bullseye is kind of nuts.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. If you're gonna reinvent Bullseye, I like the way they did it in Punisher. The Punisher Max version of Bullseye was...
Which looked suspiciously like the Colin Farrell from the Daredevil movie.
Yeah. But, it was an entirely different character. And the thinking man's insane assassin. Yeah. I have to understand why you do what you do, Frank.
I was a huge Daredevil fan during the Miller time. Like the Frank Miller time.
Well, that's completely reasonable. Yeah. That was a hell of a run.
But the thing I like most about Bullseye is like when they got to, I think it was issue 191, when it showed how far Bullseye had pushed him, where the entire issue is just Daredevil sitting in the hospital with a full body cast Bullseye, telling him a story and playing Russian roulette.
Yeah, that really was iconic.
Yeah.
And then, of course, he gets the adamantium skeleton and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I never got that, because isn't the whole reason why Wolverine is alive with the adamantium skeleton is because he's got a healing factor?
Well, you would think so. But
I guess that was retconned out.
No. It still stands.
Then why does Bullseye survive?
There are actually several adamantium bonding. Oh my god, I'm a nerd. Adamantium bonding processes that, and one of them, the one that Bullseye got, would actually work.
Oh,
Lady Deathstrike.
Yeah,
her father invented that one, and that was the reason she initially hated Wolverine so much. Was she thought he'd stolen that technology from her father. Also, Bullseye kept getting brought back from the dead by the Hand, so he gets a pass.
Okay. Still.
Oh, I know, right?
That's why I liked him in Punisher Max, because he was actually a truly terrifying assassin. I love the little bit about killing a guy with a paperclip that they did, because that was the big thing about Bullseye. You could kill somebody with a paperclip. In Punisher Max, he straightens out a paperclip and explains how deadly, like what he could do with the paperclip, and then he shoots him.
Yeah. But, I mean, that particular run of the Punisher Max was really driving home the fact that nobody involved in that world was sane. Like, Frank was out to fucking lunch. Like, all he had left was this. He has nothing else in his life but vengeance on people that had nothing to do with what he was angry about.
I don't know. Barracuda was pretty much...
Barracuda was long dead at that point.
Yeah. But, I know that was only like 3 or 4 trades before.
Yeah.
3 trades.
And a trade being averaging, 6-8 issues?
Yeah, about that.
So... 1 issue a month.
No, I get it.
3 trades. You're looking at a year and a half.
Yeah.
Minimum.
When it comes to Daryl, though, I always thought it was funny that he got his origin from a truck that had spilled toxic material, and then he fought the Hand and the Ninja Turtles, and they fought the Foot.
Oh, it goes even farther.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Daredevil was trained by a man called Stick. The Ninja Turtles were trained by a rat called Splinter. It was actually the original Ninja Turtles run was actually making fun of the comic books at the time.
Oh yeah,
they were looking for how to go over the top. How much further over the top can we go?
And they were such great issues when they first came out.
Well, I'll have to take your word for that. I've never actually been in the same room as an original. I've seen reprints.
When I was in high school, I worked in a comic book store. And I remember when they first came out. And it was, I read some of the originals. Remember the
role-playing game, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Other Strangeness?
I have 2 copies of it.
Yeah, the developers actually called Wilkie.
Oh, yeah?
To find out why he was selling so goddamn many of them.
Really?
Yeah, they were a huge hit in Halifax from Wilkie's Wonderful World of Comics back in the day. And like, why are you selling more of these than anybody else? And he's like, well, I just put it in the comic rack. It's got an original comic in the back. It's completely kosher.
Yeah.
And it was a fun little game.
It was Palladium. Palladium has its issues.
Oh, certainly, but TMNT didn't have mega damage, which is my giant issue with Palladium. And oh my god, am I nerdy tonight?
But other nights you're not, though, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, I put on my suit. And,
I used to play so many of their games. I mean, my favorite was still Ninjas and Super Spies. Ninjas and Super
a
Spies.
classic.
Love that.
A classic.
Yeah.
Solid book. About 90% of it was martial arts forms.
Oh,
but,
I was so nerdy. I would go through every single stat of every martial art, trying to pick and choose.
Oh
of which
man,
one.
that's just
I'm
like
that
high
guy.
school. That's your statistics.
Yeah, I'm that guy.
No, I was the guy who went through and bought every Palladium book so I could pick and choose out of different books in order to build something.
Yeah.
I think I literally bought Ninjas and Super Spies to tweak out my Heroes Unlimited character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I bought Ninjas and
Yeah.
Super Spies to tweak out my Ninja Turtles character because they say in the book
Oh, they do.
you can
yes.
use Ninjas and Super Spies right in that book, and then in the Ninjas and Super Spies book it says if you are using this with Ninja Turtles,
Yeah, that's right.
You're a horrible person.
And I looked at it and I went, hell yes. And that's when I truly understood the great power of
Twinking.
Twinking your characters.
I grew out of that phase pretty early for a gamer, but
Well, when you're talking about Palladium, it's pretty much
it's what
Well,
you do.
Rift's got crazy.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. It's
But
just-
Rifts has that MD problem that I was mentioning earlier. And Rifts also has the conversion book. Or as it was known around my table, the perversion book. Where you could take things from anything else and MD them up and just
put them
make
in-
horrible abominations. My
yeah.
personal favorite was a superhero travel to the Rift universe for whatever dumbass retcon stupid reason. And I had phasing and super strength. So I could grapple people out of their power armor.
Yeah.
Just, nope, you're not in your armor anymore. Didn't work on body armor because they were very clear that counts as clothes and you can't do it to clothes. But I could pull you right out of your Samus. Well, I think that's really the point of Rifts, isn't it?
Yeah,
you can
it is.
largely do anything you want with it.
Yep.
I mean, it's not my favorite system, but it is reasonably flexible for what you do.
Well, it suffers from the problem that I feel that most game systems suffer from, and that's too much choice.
It's too open.
Well, no, it's not open at all. It's very, very rigid. Like,
Well,
you
I mean-
have this class, or this class, or this class. Now, you can stop and move over and do other things if you want, but, like...
Well, I just meant like Rifts, how like it just expanded to so much that there was so much choice and so much things you could throw
Well,
in
certainly,
together.
but I literally made my last character by closing my eyes, running my finger along the bookshelf, grabbing a book at random,
I've done that.
opened it to a page at random, and made the RCC on that page.
Well, and that's it. And there's like 40 or 50 books.
Oh, well, more than that, my friend.
Well, I'm not including the magazines that they were
Nor am
releasing
I.
every month.
Yeah.
I'm just amazed that was so popular for so long.
Still is.
That it kept, I don't.
It's well, the books are inexpensive, which helps because I mean, kids are still not making huge money, and it has a wide following. So I mean, it really is probably of the game systems that are still making paper games. Arguably, it's one of the most successful.
And
I
since
mean-
everything is put into different areas, there's so many different genres of interest that somebody can pick a book and say, I like this and I like that.
Yeah,
Certainly.
but that it makes a whole bunch of nightmares for a person who's running a game too.
Oh, God,
because
yeah.
how do you put the guy in the German power armor, the Jamaican vampire, and the psychic from Australia into the same game?
They all got rifted somewhere.
Okay, well,
then
if
they
you
met
wanna
at an inn?
If you want to Deus Ex it in,
Craigslist.
yeah,
Craigslist.
You know,
Yeah,
that
it's the
reminds
apocalypse
me.
after all.
That reminds me of one of my favorite statements ever uttered before a game by a DM. We all sat down at the table and he said, "Okay, you all know each other because it's easier on me." And then we went into the game. That was...
Was that me?
No.
I'm sure I've said that.
Well, I've said it since. I thought that's a great way to stay. You all know each other. I don't know how, nor do I care. This is up to you to figure it out.
Oh, that's why I like group character creation, because if you're all in the same place making the characters together, with a little encouragement, you can usually get the players to tie their backstories up nicely.
So that there's a reason why.
And the player is usually happy to do it, because it means that they can all, like, well, my guy's the talker, well, my guy's the fighter, and then you don't end up... So the balances out the party.
Yeah, you get your four corners.
Either that, or you just play dirty like I did in that World of Darkness game, where you all think you know your backstory, but you don't. Heh.
That's a standard trick for DMs, though.
Yeah, but
your backstory isn't what you think it is. I mean, that's exactly what you want to do when you're a DM to your players, because they've put all this time and effort into making up a backstory, and your job is to throw wrenches into it.
Yeah, no, I was very proud of that story, and I really wish someone had solved it. Oh, well, maybe next time.
My favorite dick move I've ever seen from a DM was we had a guy who kept whining about he didn't get good treasure. So
I've seen that in World of Warcraft.
Yeah, so the DM gave him this massive sword. It was like a plus, I don't know what, something huge against a certain creature. And for the next 6 months, every time he went into a town, there'd be one in the main square. And by the time he got there, it would be dead. And after about 6 months, and this guy is just ranting and raving, we go into a dungeon, and there's a massive one, and he finally kills something, and in his last breath he says, "I am the last of my kind."
Wow. Dick move.
That's
genocide.
Impressive. That's seriously messed up.
That takes commitment.
That's commitment. That's commitment to a bit, and there's no denying that. Last week, Ruka's new series Lazarus, the first trade just came out. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. It is some fantastic dystopian science fiction. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but please go out and read it. It's one of my favorite reads this year.
I'll borrow it from you.
Well, of course you will.
Yeah, but Derek, who's not paying attention,
I'm always paying attention. See how quickly I responded?
He did.
Yeah.
I'm like
what
a
were
fucking
we talking about?
Dystopian sci-fi thing that I don't know anything
That's
about.
a lucky guess. We're always talking about dystopian.
That's
Well,
true.
it's true. If I'm in the room, it's a 50-50 shot.
Daredevil. Fuck. That's when I was last paying attention.
Yeah, well, definitely.
You summoned me?
No, I was just like got your head buried in the book. You're playing. Like,
I've been
Crush.
digging. I'm looking for some comic book. I'm trying to contribute. That's all.
Oh, that's cool.
Actually, no, I was tweeting.
I figured.
Oh no, I don't know anything about the games you guys were playing though.
Oh, this is all. The thing is, it's always good to have somebody from the outside when we start talking about shit like role playing games, because
we can spin wildly off what anybody wants to listen to. There's nothing more boring on this earth
than listening to a gamer,
than somebody talking about their character.
Oh, I know. Trust me. When I talk about basketball in our podcast, I get like mail from people being like, "We don't fucking care," because they'll be like, "Oh, so is 6'8" and he did it on this team with the and he does the." And they're like, "Shut up. We don't." I'm like, all right, fine. No
I assume there are basketball podcasts.
Probably, but you know, we
not
we
really
have
the
our
demographic.
Well, you know
you're
what?
following.
Fuck that. If it's something that you've got passion for, so they don't care. Well,
I like to listen to our people though. If they are listeners and they have been for a long time, I say, hey, you know, I can not talk about basketball. I know a lot of people. The majority of our listeners don't like basketball, and that's fine. You know, that's me. I can talk about basketball when the mics are off. That's all.
Fair enough. And there's a Mad Max video game coming out for the PS4.
Really? There's a Mad Max, another Mad Max movie.
Fury's Road, yes.
When's that coming out?
God only knows.
Are they going to put like
they
Crazy
physically
Mel?
built the vehicles?
Did they like make a mech suit so Mel Gibson can?
He's not in it. They've recast Max.
Who's Max?
Is Humongous in it? Lord Humongous?
I'm sorry, guys. For some reason, the guild didn't send me my copy of the script.
So you can't tell me if Lord Humongous is in it. That's the right movie, isn't it? Lord
Yes.
Humongous?
Yeah.
Just walk away.
Right.
Yeah.
Be easy, my dog of war.
Right. See, I originally went back to that because of the episode of South Park.
Oh
yeah,
With the queeps.
Yeah.
Soon, my dog of war. Losers, wait. I was like, what's that from? Mad Max. And
I heard that Humongous was one of the fan theories. Was that Humongous was the guy that Max burned at the end of the first movie.
Oh.
And I don't know if it holds up, but
no.
I don't know if it does, but it's a pretty entertaining fan
died.
theory.
Yeah, he's pretty dead. He was handcuffed to the thing. He had both of his hands. If he had both of his hands, he still would have been attached to that car when it blew up, and he would have been all kinds of on fire. Because as we've learned,
the mask.
I think I might have actually found a little information on this. So they say 2014. Director George Miller.
Woo!
Tom Hardy is going to be the main guy. Which that's all right.
I can get
who's
behind
Tom
that.
Hardy?
Wasn't he Bane?
Bane.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, he was Bane.
So I mean, he's a
Man,
big dude.
when all three of you guys didn't know who played Bane, I was like, maybe he's not Bane. You guys should know fucking Bane before I should. God damn it.
Nah,
I can see him as humongous.
Yeah,
I didn't like him as Bane.
Well, it was an interesting take on Bane.
Mel Gibson's in it.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
I stand corrected.
His role is Drifter, so I assume it'll probably be like, "Hey kid, you know how they bring back an old guy from one of the older ones to
He'll be Stanley.
right."
in
Which
the Marvel
honestly,
movies.
every time I see Stan Lee in one of the movies, I'm like, "Yay, there he is!" Because I know he's gonna die soon, and that fucking sucks. It haunts me. All right, Charlize Theron's gonna be in it.
All right,
I'm
get
always
behind
cool with that.
Yeah, it's always a good thing.
Zoe Kravitz. That rings a bell. I don't know where she's from though.
That does ring a bell.
Probably because I've Googled every woman on Earth under Google Image.
That's called stalking.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh,
but you're
it's
not stalking specific ones.
It's only stalking if you keep the information. Just looking up the information and not having it, that's not
Makes you a
stalking.
government agent.
Yeah.
Government agent.
She was Angel in X-Men First Class.
There it is.
I knew I saw her in something. I'm like, I don't remember her from other stuff, and I want to see her in more things because she's kind of.
That was a weak ass Angel.
If that's your biggest complaint, it was a pretty solid movie. Because compared to the first... Okay, compared to the third X-Men movie,
Okay.
First Class was
We've had
pretty
this discussion
goddamn
before,
The
awesome.
best
Yeah.
part of First Class was when Wolverine told Xavier to fuck off. That was like, get lost.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, all the X-Men movies, I mean, they've screwed up the timeline so much when it comes to the X-Men.
Is that important though?
Well,
Like
yes,
if you just forget about it, you just
True,
go enjoy.
yeah,
it.
but you're talking about nerds here.
I know.
but I
I'm
think Alex put it best. Is like just see it as an Elseworld. Just
Right.
Yeah.
you know, imagine the Watcher saying "in this world," and then it's all good.
Yeah,
It's
I know.
what
And-
if.
Yeah,
I love
it's a what if.
No, and it's fun to think about. But like, I'll go into any movie just going, "All right, what do you got for me?"
Yeah.
Like, I'm starting fresh. Unless it's something like they're doing 3 movies together, like the Batmans. You know, like you want some connection
Continuity?
between them. Yeah. But if it's not, like, if, for instance, like X-Men did 1, 2, and 3, and then it jumped to First Class, new director, fucking do what you got to do.
Fair
It's all
enough.
good.
Now the new one that's coming out looks like it might be pretty solid.
Second Class.
They just sit in class and they're like, teach
Well,
us.
I'm told it's they're going to do the Days of Future Past story
Yeah.
arc, which means we'll get proper Sentinels and not just some stupid teaser, and a pretty solid storyline. But
And if they
and
follow it
since
up
it's-
properly, right after that would be Age of Apocalypse, which would be awesome.
they'll have time travel. and time travel allows them to deal with a lot of the issues that have been
True.
plaguing them.
I'll tell you the one thing that it's for a lot of people it's a minor thing, but the one thing that really bothered me about X-Men First Class is because I love the original story of how Professor X gets in the chair.
He falls down a flight of stairs.
No.
You need a chair, Professor X? Yes.
The original story is he's traveling. I can't remember where he is. He's somewhere. I think he's in Kenya, and Storm, as a small child, actually steals his wallet,
Racist.
and he goes into this cafe and he meets another psychic, and they're actually another telepath, and they actually, without even speaking to each other, they have a fight across the room, and the guy beats him and fries.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
I had no idea.
and leaves him there.
That was the Shadow King, I believe. That
Yeah.
had that
Yeah.
battle.
And Days of Future Past is written and directed by Bryan Singer again, who did 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a tremendous writer, and he's a solid director.
Well, and he does love the story, the source material. Like that's the requirement that you. Okay.
Hey, where did you just go?
Yeah, Gavin just disappeared.
He answered
and
his phone
came
and walked
back
away.
with beer.
We're in Dartmouth.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Alex is here.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Cool. I'll grab him a
is
chair.
that like I feel like what is the number
sorry,
for that
I'm late,
takeout
guys.
service? It's
I'm
like
sorry I'm late, guys. Here is beer.
Anyone that shows up even 5 minutes late has to bring at least 12 beer from now on. That's how it works.
thanks for
No,
raising
but,
the bar, Alex.
I was just saying that Bryan Singer is writing and directing Days of Future Past, which is good. Matthew Vaughn did a good job with First Class, but
I feel Singer can probably do a solid job with it.
he did 1 and 2, right?
Yeah.
So and obviously he was good at that. So hey, Alex, I have a microphone for you, and I'm gonna go get you a chair.
It's okay. I can stand. I'll just be the background guy.
No, you're not. You're taking your mic.
Can you dance while you're? Give me like a doo-wop shuffle.
I don't dance as a public service to everybody else.
Just for your own passion, when you need to express yourself.
Yes. I brought beer though. Sorry, I'm
I
late.
saw that. That's
Really, that's for us.
Yeah.
You should have
It's just
seen
for me.
I can be convinced to have one.
you should have seen the look on their faces when I came down carrying
Like
it.
Santa.
It's like he answers his phone, comes back with beer. The hell!
was that you who called?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Stupid me for not turning my phone off.
White, red,
I appreciate
blonde,
that.
dark.
Dark, please.
Right?
Thank you.
Blonde.
I like reds.
Reds?
Yeah.
Jesus, we're actually going.
I'm not drinking the white,
Don't
so
fuck it up. Don't.
I'm not drinking the white. So anything but that.
Really?
Anything but that. Yeah.
Okay.
Anything but white.
Blonde to do.
I'll have a white. White. This is during the podcast, by the way. I hope you guys
No,
don't
it's
mind
great.
us discussing what kind of beers we want and then hearing.
I'll just cut it out of the podcast.
No,
it's
leave it in.
exciting. It's part of the.
Well, some of
it's
my
our
favorite
thing.
podcasts have involved geeks drinking and talking about movies
Very
and what
true.
have you. So
Very true.
Well,
So
I know
we're not
Ben-
using. We're just chatting. Due to the week of
so yeah.
shit.
Have you read Lazarus?
Oh yeah, I've been reading that again.
The first trade just came out last week, so I thought we should. Yeah.
It's 4 issues in.
No, it's 6 issues in.
Lazarus.
Yeah.
Lazarus by Greg Rucka.
Yes.
4 issues in.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. I have the trade in my living room.
That's weird because
Fight.
I have the
Nerd
first.
fight,
Like,
nerd.
where does it end off?
I haven't read it yet. I've got the monthlies. I was just like, okay, here's the trade.
I swear
I've been
it's
telling people
4
about this
issues
friggin' series since it started because Rucka.
Yeah. No,
So
it's great.
I bought it literally to lend to people like Andrew because that's
That's how I get my education in
That's
comics. I wait till he buys them and borrow them off of him.
Nice.
Well, he's got great taste, and
He
in
does.
comics.
He does it that.
In movies, it's a little dodgy.
well, you have specific taste in movies.
They must be awesome.
Hell Comes to Frogtown.
Awesome. It is one of the 2 definitive Rowdy Roddy Piper movies.
There were only 2 Rowdy Roddy
Oh,
Piper
sir,
movies.
you are incorrect.
He's been in a lot of.
He has been in a lot of movies.
They were all really bad.
Oh my
The
god!
other
yes.
one,
Did you
the
see
other
The
one, of
Immortals?
course, being They Live.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
I
I
mean,
think I've seen like 2 or 3.
they're pretty
He
bad.
was in. I wasn't even like at least 2 or 3 with Billy Blanks.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems reasonable because they were both at that kind of level.
Oh, Lazarus is a great series, though.
Yeah.
Have you talked about the storyline at all?
I didn't want to give anything away, but by all means, now I've got someone to talk to.
Spoiler alert.
Well,
It's already been spoiler alerted. Tell me so I can read this
It's a
thing.
futuristic tale.
Is it dystopian?
At least North America is controlled by ruling class, and it's separated into families. So like at the beginning of each,
This is sounding a lot like 13 or 100 Bullets.
well, at the
The
end,
establishing shot in every chapter,
yeah. Well, I'd say scene change.
scene change. Yeah,
Every scene change has a population counter, and so it will say population
like 2 family.
and so like those are the clans. These
Oh,
families.
okay.
So like in this entire region, there's 2 population, like actual,
And then they'll
peoples, as
have
they say.
like
and then they have
57
like
serfs and
and then
4,000 waste.
283,000 waste, which is just like people that don't matter, and they're living in shanties, and
I
they're
can count 5 of us right now.
waste.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'd be categorized as waste.
probably.
Oh my god, yes.
Hey, I brought
Sorry,
beer.
guys.
I'm at least a serf.
Okay,
Okay.
fine.
yeah,
the
but you're
beer's
the
gone.
serf to the waste.
Shit.
Man,
Lazarus
that's
is
nothing
solid.
new. I
But
know
our
I'm a
main
waste. Fuck
character
that. It's-
is
I'm down. I'm down. I like being a waste.
a genetically engineered, more or less unkillable soldier.
Okay.
And apparently
She's like-
all the families have one of these.
Yeah, and they're engineered to believe that they're one of the family proper, and when really they're just a weapon to be pointed in a direction.
So it's got some fantastic humanization, possible romance, which I hope they don't really beat us over the head with, because, I mean, I've read Romeo and Juliet. Can we move on?
I don't think they will. I think they're just.
I
gonna
have
focus
faith in
on-
Rucka. I think
Yeah.
he's going to do it right.
No, I finally caught up in all my comic books, which I'm super stoked about.
Nothing like a little pneumonia to get you caught up in your reading.
I'm telling you. Now I can actually sit back and like read them as they come out every week. So
Now you're caught up. You're actually going to stay caught up.
no, I say that, but
I
Yeah.
was going. That's exactly
Yeah.
the direction I was going. Thanks for stealing my
sorry,
thunder there,
no
man.
problem. I just I want to, but like now I have to prepare for GVN at HalCon.
Oh yeah,
And
man.
I have to prepare.
That was a
for-
great show last night.
Last night was amazing. The Wicked Witch debate had every right to be like
Awful.
lackluster.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say.
Well,
lackluster. It
okay,
had-
not
it
awful,
had-
but yeah. It's-
Because everybody that I talked to about it, they were like, I don't know what I'm doing. But it just, it hit so hard. I mean, the other debate was fun too, but I feel like the high of the night was in the Wicked Witch debate.
Well, I from my time with doing GVN, I always found a lot of times that when you had a weak source or one that you don't like very much,
or if you're put against the one that you do love.
well, when you're put against one you do love, you know its weaknesses.
Yeah.
Just because you love it doesn't mean you can't see the warts. I mean, one of the ones I don't think it ever actually made it to air that I remember very strongly was Spawn versus The Crow. And all of Team Spawn at our meeting were like, I hate Spawn. It is the stupidest comic book ever. And I'm like, well, it's not that bad, guys. But inside, I'm dying a little. So we just figured, well, screw it. You know, we're going to come out swinging. And we did.
Nice.
the other team tanked too.
Well, they had a great shtick. It just didn't land.
Well, no, they were doing an Andy Kaufman kind of thing with The Crow, right? So they were... Well, The Crow is not pleasant. It's incredibly depressing. Like
So
the whole...
was Spawn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But they decided to play up the whole incredibly depressing side of The Crow rather than the...
And I think they were neglecting that Kaufman was booed off the stage for trying that crap on numerous occasions.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he was okay with it.
Yeah, that's...
That was the great thing about Andy Kaufman. He didn't
really
give a
was.
shit. But in a show where it's actually supposed to just be hilarious.
Well, I believe that was the first time I said, if you do that again, I'm gonna shoot myself. But yeah, that's like there are times. Well, I mean, I love putting people up against the thing they love.
Well, then that's what I've been saying.
Mosquitoes?
Well, no, but when
Got a
you have
mosquito
somebody
tattoo.
like for instance, if we were to ever do Spider-Man, I would want to be on the opposite team of Spider-Man, just so I could watch you die a little inside as you argued that way.
The worst thing is I could pick it apart.
I know you could.
I could rip that red to shreds.
Well, that's a thing that I've always found interesting with geek culture. We are wildly defensive about things we know aren't that good.
Well, it's like
do you remember?
Like if I criticize like my family, like I can criticize my family. It's almost like it's because I've put in my dues. Okay, I've dealt with all their bullshit, so I get to say like, oh my god, like this is fucking ridiculous. But the second somebody else says something about my family, it's, hey, fuck off! That's my family you're talking about.
Stop stealing my bit.
Yeah, it's like,
You got that right.
yeah, exactly. So if I put in month after month of reading about Spock, Spider-Man Octopus, I'm allowed to say, fuck you, Dan Slott. I hate you, but it's really fun to read. But like somebody else comes in and just says, oh, that's the stupidest idea I've ever heard. Bang! You have no idea what you're talking
haven't
about.
earned it. Yeah, but
Well, it's like-
do you remember? I don't know if you guys read Knights of the Dinner Table.
Yeah.
I read your nights.
Ken Zerko, yeah, fair enough. For a while, they had an article in it called "A Gamer Rant at the Movies," which was this
Brilliant.
very eloquent writer picking apart famous genre movies.
From the point of view of if I were gaming in this adventure.
Yeah, and he
actually quite brilliant.
often had great points, and I'd be like, oh, he's talking about one of my favorite movies, and I'd be like, hey, and you think, well, no, that's fair.
First guy.
Michael Jordan?
But people would get so pissed off, like the letter pages were just rammed full of people hating on that article,
Yeah.
to the point where they started printing it with little dotted line down the side so people could cut it out of the magazine if it offended them that much.
Alex just found something.
I
I saw it as soon as I walked in. I was like,
Gavin, that is awesome. I'm going to totally Kanye West you right now.
George Bush doesn't like black people?
Oh my god.
Ha! Beat you to it!
So
This will be an interesting segue.
I found something that Derrek owns. I just happened to look in the corner, and I don't know why it's not in a place of prominence.
It's my favorite corner.
This
It's a prominent corner.
all Galaxy Collection special edition figure, Michael Jordan.
Space Jam.
Space Jam Michael Jordan as he appeared in the Baseball League. It's a solid, 10-inch figure, 8-inch figure.
You read the back thing.
Oh, that's right,
This
sorry.
part is great.
And you used to work in a collectibles store.
Wait a second! Michael Jordan dressed for baseball? When the Looney Tunes characters are involved, anything goes. Bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, the game is tied. Jordan steps to the plate, fists clenched around the bat. Here comes the pitch. Strike! The pitcher delivers again. Jordan swings, another miss. And Michael gets ready for the next pitch.
Okay, pause for a moment.
What's going to happen?
Wait a second. If this is reality, strike 3, you're
Back
out.
to the NBA.
Back to the NBA.
You poor
If
bastard.
this is-
Don't be afraid.
if this,
You're
hold on,
out. You
hold
go to this fucking space.
you go to. Congratulations, you're going to space,
Is
Michael.
that how you get into the astronaut program?
You fail at the MBA,
You
and then
excel
you
at
go.
one
You
sport.
excel at the MBA. You fail at the at MLB, and then you're launched into SPACE.
It wasn't even MLB. It was just like a farm team.
Was it?
Yeah.
He didn't make it.
Did you
into
not
the-
see Space Jam?
Oh yeah.
I'm not going to question you on this because you have a Michael Jordan action figure. It mint in box. I have to add. This is mint
Oh, I
in
meant in
box.
the movie.
Oh, in the movie, yeah.
Yeah.
He was just, He was just in the
I know. I've got some friends who've got Michael Jordan's rookie card.
But this is
Yeah.
a Space Jam.
You have?
It's not
Do
even
you
him
have his
playing
rookie
basketball.
card? Do you
In
have
the
his
box.
rookie card?
Some minor sun fading, but otherwise in great shape.
This is amazing. But let me hear. Okay.
What
So-
happened?
Huh, well. As Michael gets ready for the next pitch, Bugs Bunny's head pops out of a rabbit hole next to the home plate.
The only
Hey,
thing-
Doc,
the
get
only
ready
thing
for a
he hit all
curveball.
season.
Bugs disappears back into the hole. Michael takes his stance once more. The pitcher winds up. The throw is off. A big breaking curveball. Michael swings and thwack. Going. It's out of here. And yeah, there you go.
It's pretty amazing.
So,
It's
just for
great,
the record,
but-
this is Alex after half a beer.
Okay, I would just like to state that most people who purchased that had never read those words. I think those words are probably, if you were to have something that was the least read thing that was written down, this and the do not remove tag on
This is
on mattresses.
So I'm really happy that you have this and not the Michael Jordan Toon Squad MVP action figure. However, I'm a little disappointed that you don't have the Tea Time Michael, which is him in a very nice golf shirt, some nice golf pants,
Selling
and
Hanes underwear.
a nice little golfer's cap. This is amazing, Derek. Words cannot describe.
For what it's worth, it's an ongoing thing where whenever one of us goes on vacation or we go away, we bring back something really shitty for one of our friends.
Oh, okay.
So Devin went away one time and he brought me back a VHS copy of Space Jam because I love Space Jam. And he's like, here. I'm like, fuck yeah, man. Awesome. And then he went on vacation again and he saw that and he's like, well, we'll keep the Space Jam theme going. So I'm expecting to get the golf one next time, Devin.
Oh, okay.
I really hope you do.
If this is your friend's idea of a shitty gift,
Shitty.
I need
It
better
just-
friends.
It surpasses shitty and
It's
just goes,
it's a step above shitty. Shitty is processed. It's more cheesy. It's pre-shitty.
Oh, it's fucking shit. It's Michael Jordan in a baseball uniform. It's a fucking action figure.
So here,
It passes shit and goes right back to awesome.
here are the points that they're. So you know, on the back of these figures, they often label things that you should keep in mind. So, labeling his uniform: Toon Squad baseball uniform, Space Jam player stand for you to stand him up on, a home run bat, and of course,
I like how they have to tell you that the bat is actually
it is a home run
only
bat.
home runs.
Yes.
It's not a bunting bat.
No line drive.
It's not a line drive. It's not a single or a double bat.
Nope.
It's a home run bat.
And my favorite little piece, pointing to his face, incredible detail. It's just it ties the piece together. I want you to bring this to Antiques Roadshow.
Go home and get back here. Fine.
Is I just realized as I was leaving work today, the last song I heard as I was walking out the door is "I Believe I Can Fly" from the movie.
I miss it.
believe I can touch the sky.
Oh, right.
Think about it every
R.
night
Kelly
and
before he
day.
peed on people.
No, I think he was still
Before he got
peeing on
caught
people. He
peeing
was
on
just
people. Sorry, you're right.
safely locked in the closet.
I see what you did there.
So, all right. Did you guys hear about Ant-Man news this week?
Yeah,
we started off with
I
that.
think
There's
we
two
No,
people
that's-
potentially up for the role.
Yeah, Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Paul
Paul
Rudd.
Rudd.
But
Right.
you guys already talked about it.
Well, no.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt said it's not him.
Really?
Yeah, he said. I'm gonna grab a mind. 'Cause
Did you guys already seriously talk about
no,
this?
well, we talked about it before we went on air. I brought it up and I was like, "Do you guys want to talk about this?" It was Joseph Gordon-Levitt said, "I'm transparent with my roles. If I am in something, I'll tell you I'm in something. But right now, I'm not." Which again, he might be, and right now he's not.
Yeah.
You know, he could just be.
He's still got to be Nightwing.
Could be word sneaking.
He's going to be Nightwing.
No, he's not. God damn it.
It's
But
like
that's-
Ultimate Universe Nightwing.
I don't even know where to start with what's wrong with that sentence.
I'm watching the veins pulse in both of your foreheads. Ultimate Nightwing. I like that.
Serenity now.
Calm blue ocean. Calm blue ocean. Angry
It's
red
almost synchronizing
sea.
between the two of them.
They're synchronizing their rage.
No, I don't know. See, I'd like Joseph Gordon-Levitt as like, because I picture him as being a little more serious. I'd like him as Hank Pym. I'd really like Paul Rudd as
Lang.
Lang,
Scott
yeah.
Lang.
That's what I said.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be amazing. It
I know,
really,
right?
really would be
He'd
amazing.
be perfect for that role.
Then again, I do want to see Hank Pym on screen. So if they did like Hank Pym was already kind of established.
Do you, before you got here, Gavin was saying that Hank Pym is really made to be... Now, I disagree with you. I don't think he's made to be like the 1930s super scientist, adventurer, and all-round awesome guy. He was a invention of the 60s. He was not really that super adventurer. He was that guy who was messing around with forces that he didn't fully comprehend. In my mind, I want to know what your interpretation of that.
I'd argue that when he, like in the initial incarnation of him,
Yes.
I think he was closer to being a throwback to that like science guy, but willing to go and like, I mean, his first appearance, he like shrunk himself down and went into an anthill. Nearly got killed. What, I can't remember what issue that was. I think it was Tales of Suspense something.
That would
Anyway.
make sense.
So like he shrinks himself down and goes into an anthill and almost dies. And that's kind of like his realization that like, okay, I need to be a little more cautious. And then he goes and invents Ultron, and that
worked out brilliantly.
Yeah, no. So,
But I
Still
guess-
working on the ant theme there.
I guess for the new movie, though, the Ultron's going to be like Iron Man armor.
Yeah. That's my
Really?
That's pretty much been
The teaser and
like the
was it-
teaser in the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Like it really does kind of nail
Oh, I
it
heard
down
about that, yeah.
as being Paul Bettany going crazy. Paul Bettany being the voice of Jarvis in the film. So,
But it can be both.
I don't know. I've heard rumors that like
If you
people
start
have
Ultron
sandwiched
off
this
as
lady.
a computer virus kind of thing, takes over Jarvis, gets the armor.
I'm not even mad about that anymore. I just want to see a quality Ant-Man film. And I think with Edgar Wright on it, and with either Paul Rudd or Joseph Gordon-Levitt, I think
I want to see a standalone Nick Fury film.
1996, starring the Hoff.
Yeah.
Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Okay, yes, that's true. Was that 96?
Yep.
Jeez, I thought it was earlier than that. Okay, well, apparently Agent 13's up for her own role, up for her own show.
really,
Yeah. I just read about it on Comic Alliance.
I'd watch that.
Yeah,
I'd give it a
fun.
shot.
Any good spy show would be.
Well,
decent.
I mean, that's what they're doing with S.H.I.E.L.D. It's the super spy show.
It's not even a spy show though. It's more of a
Wouldn't they have to
just.
do some espionage to be a spy show?
There's a little bit, but it's like.
No, there's some technology.
I mean, it's closer to.
Did you see the new one?
No, I haven't seen the most recent one. Is there more espionage?
No.
Yeah.
Is there any espionage?
No, it's more... I think they're working their way towards AIM.
Well, Rising
As-
Tide, AIM, I can get behind that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they've already... Hydra's
But what are they
already
going to...
really
Like, I want to
established
see... If they're working their way towards AIM, I want to see MODOK. If they're going
yeah.
to... If they're going to do that, and I don't think they would... Like, do the flying rocket baby. I just don't
that's
see...
one of my top 5 wishes for like cinematic / television Marvel stuff, like live action.
You want to see?
You want
That's
live
my top
action
5
MODOK.
wishes. Yeah, because I mean, oh my god, MODOK! Like, it's just,
But that's like Arrow and stuff like that too. When they start bringing in actual villains, they can't go back.
Well, they're
That's-
bringing in Flash this year. They're
Yeah.
bringing in Barry Allen.
And
That's
Ra's
what I
al
mean.
Ghul.
Oh, Raisha's going to be in. Oh,
And now,
just-
like I said,
That's,
now it's going
that
to be
seems
actual
unfair.
heroes.
It seems unfair to bring Raish in against. It seems like a major outclassing.
But I mean, outside of the first episode of the new season, Arrow has certainly not been shy about killing people. Mm-hmm. So Raish, you can still pincushion and bring him back in a couple of episodes. 'Cause he's
well,
got the Lazarus
the
pit.
last episode, he's moving away from being a killer, and now we're going to see sonic arrows and punching
boxing glove
glove arrows and.
Jesus, I hope not. There's no way that's going to look good on screen.
why do we hesitate, or why do they hesitate to put actual superpowered characters on the screen?
Well, because it's power creep, right? When you've got, first of all,
The
when you've got
the effects
human,
are expensive.
when you've
Not
got
that now.
Yeah, I
when
suppose.
you've got a human level guy, and you've got all these superheroes around, you've got to match up each of the guys, right? You've got to match up power levels. So when they put the Flash in there and Barry Allen in there, which is happening about halfway through the season, and the Flash is stopping people, they are at entirely different power levels, which means you have to introduce 2 entirely different supervillain power levels in order to keep them working, unless you're going to do something like Lex Luthor, but they're never going to do that.
And when it comes to like Shield and then the level of Green Arrow, if you start bringing in massive villains, then you start bringing in heroes, you're actually kind of trumping the star of the show because you have more powerful people coming in.
It doesn't need to be though.
Doesn't need to be, but it's a
Do
fine
it-
line.
Do it like Buffy. Some of the best characters on that show were the ones who didn't have powers. Were the ones who weren't the Slayer, who weren't the most powerful witch. They're the ones who struggled. you know, against the might that is the super powered being. So I mean, okay, throw MODOK in there as the big bad, as hilarious as that is.
Well, I think they're working their way towards Graviton. And
Probably.
Well, they've certainly established that. But MODOK, mental organism designed only for killing. How can you not get behind that?
I think it's Conquest now.
Only in the cartoon.
Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah, he's still MODOK with a K in comic books.
Remember that Yaris commercial ad they had?
Yeah.
In the...
MODOK should advertise everything.
There's like, room for 4 your friends. Or one MODOK.
What's
I do
this?
remember that.
It's a Yaris ad
Yeah.
in some comic books. That
Oh,
came out
okay.
A few years ago. But like,
Which cracked me up
make
thoroughly.
him the big bad for S.H.I.E.L.D., or at least like the lieutenant to the big bad, and then
Doom. I'd love to see them bring
that's
Doom
one of my
into
top
S.H.I.E.L.D.
5 wishes too. I want to see a real fucking Doctor Doom, not like
Well, you see,
shitty.
if they were to do Doom in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. movie, you would never see Doom. Doom would never be connected back to the things that were happening. You would have the shadow of Doom. Like, you would get the sense that Doom was there, but you would never see him. You may have, like, a purple cloak and a glint of metal and then off into the darkness, and that's it, right?
Well,
That's
are you
No, that would be awesome.
It's green, but I wasn't gonna go there.
Oh, sorry.
Anyway.
Just curious. I
Green and purple, whatever.
It's all good. I don't care. I want to.
But
see
yeah,
a real-
Well, you're neglecting Doombots and all of Doom's little robotic henchmen. Those are all completely fair game.
Yeah, but you can't step on. Well, I suppose you could do Doombots and all that, but that's a bit far for.
Well, who owns the rights for him?
Still 20th Century Fox.
is
I'm
it?
pretty sure.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm pretty sure they own Fantastic Four.
No, fair enough.
Which
then.
is getting a reboot.
Yeah, I know.
Are they keeping the actress?
No. But all I'm saying, throw a big bad in there, and then it's even more amazing to watch Coulson and the rest overcome this. But here's my issue here. At the end of the second episode, she sends the Rising Tide her little message.
I'm in.
I'm in. Like, okay, they don't trust her. Like, or like they totally trust her without a shadow, beyond a shadow of a doubt. Like, all of a sudden, yeah, you're just gonna throw them by the wayside. They're not scanning her. They're supposed to.
I'm sure they're scanning.
Nick Fury don't play that.
Yeah,
he's reading her damn email.
And right at the end of that, it was Samuel L. Jackson fixing Coulson with the one eye. She's a risk.
No, I know. It's
because Nick knows. He's reading her email.
Better be. If they end up making it so that she actually pulled the wool over their eyes, I'm going to be fucking pissed. It's S.H.I.E.L.D. I know that I was arguing against S.H.I.E.L.D. last night, but there's still S.H.I.E.L.D., okay? They're supposed to be like the be-all, end-all of like spy organizations.
As a covert spy organization, they suck. They are not covert at all.
As a covert spy operation, absolutely they have some issues.
They've got a flying helicarrier, and that thing
it puts out a smoke cloud. It's a cloud.
Didn't do that until the movie.
No, it's well established that the helicarrier King Cloak puts out that looks like a cloud
that travels in the opposite direction.
That was how Punisher knew S.H.I.E.L.D. was coming after him. He's like, that cloud's going the wrong way.
But from the series, I mean, coming from like the plot line that you were talking about, they could twist it into a like a means to an end. The more she's talking to Red Tide, the closer they're getting to Red Tide.
Yeah, that's some Nick Fury shit. I don't know if that's Coulson shit.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, and they're really
it's above
pushing
the pay grade of a life model decoy.
I'm still sticking with Cosmic Cube.
Well, this last episode, which neither of you have seen,
you can talk about it. I don't care.
You've already made the spoiler reference.
Well, they just did have a. He went and rescued one of his former agents, and this former agent says, "What's happened to Coulson? That is not the Coulson that I know. That is not the Coulson that trained me. He is really different. What did they do to him?"
Yeah,
they're really playing up that they're basically it's because Joss Whedon went, this guy's got to be human and people have to like him.
I loved him from the start. The second I heard him say where he was from, like, it was hilarious.
That was a great bit in Iron Man.
And you could pick out the other nerds in the audience.
Oh, yeah, who were counting, who were SHIELD.
Like, that's a really weird
fanboy.
Oh my god! But I liked him from the start. I think that's why, he decided to kill him, because he was the most likable character in the fucking movie. And that's what Joss Whedon does.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But and LMD makes sense. My vote is still on Cosmic Cube. We'll see at the end of the season when they tell us.
Reprogrammed clone.
I know that all the nerds are saying LMD is too obvious. But the show isn't made primarily for the nerds.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
It's supposed to be getting all the people who saw the Avengers and were like, oh, that was good. What else could I see?
Yeah.
Which isn't bad.
And
no, certainly not.
They don't know about LMDs.
Exactly.
That's going to be like the big twist for them. What? He's a robot? How is that possible?
Yeah. So I think that's great.
I think they might go with clone. I think that's something that's enough in the zeitgeist of average people that they could.
But
just
that's
a leaf
what
on the
all
wind.
The quote average people are saying.
Yeah, but you never go poor, appealing to the lowest common denominator.
No, but this way it'll be like, oh my god, I was wrong. This is crazy. A robot? Wow. Robots.
Everybody loves robots.
It's true.
They're hard not to love.
Well, we'll see. Why would Fury let a life model decoy run his super team.
Could be an experiment for like the life model decoy.
Something that occurred to me the other day was with the success of Walking Dead and the success of World War Z. I'm sorry, but
It is technically
successful. We might be able to see something like a Criminal Macabre show, which you could, if they're going to put
Cal does
Walking Dead,
way too many drugs.
if
for that
they're
one.
going to put Walking Dead on something like AMC or HBO, they could do a Criminal Macabre very easily, and it would be good.
I would watch it. But that's really like the main character does a lot of drugs.
He does a lot of drugs and he shoots a lot of people. Like he is completely honest about it. Yeah, you deal with some of the shit that I deal with, and you will do as many drugs as you can too.
I network TV. I don't see them really.
Really?
I just like, hey, let's drop some acid and fight a mummy. That's just
This
not.
is the same television that.
Are we going to reference Breaking Bad?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Push television to the fucking limit. Bring in superheroes, bring in drug addicts. Fucking let's make television more like...
So George
like
R.R.
movies.
Martin's Wild Cards.
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, hey, now there's a series.
Why not?
I loved Wild Cards.
Push it to the limits, and we'll watch it. Like Breaking Bad proves that we'll watch it. I mean,
Well, anytime you say anything's bad, people have a morbid fascination with it. It's why it's called Criminal Macabre.
yeah.
I mean, it's a hell of a series. I love it.
I think it would
Even the 30 Days a Night crossover was pretty cool.
I didn't see that.
Why not just give Arrow a junkie sidekick? I mean, at least that's accurate from the comic books.
Give it a minute.
Yeah.
They've been teasing that one since season 1.
Hey, man. Can I borrow some of your arrow?
I just
That was actually a comic line, like back in the day. Like
Some of my arrows are missing.
he had his
walks by a
sidekick.
pawn shop. He
Yeah.
sees the arrows in the window. Damn it, junkie!
Speedy!
Speedy was
Now
a
I
heroin
know
junkie.
why you're called
But
Speedy!
I don't think I could handle the dead cat scene in real life. That was a little much.
Dead cat scene.
Sort of Speedy's, rock bottom. And they sort of find him in an alley.
Did he have sex with a dead cat?
Well, I'm not sure what killed the cat.
Sorry, I'm reading Crossed again.
Mandatory cross reference maintained. Just in time, because that's the end of the show.
Yes.
I was waiting for the cross reference, and then I was going to close it up. So, I am PigMonkey,
I'm Gavin Carruthers.
I am the punctual as ever Alex.
sitting in the back there. That would not have been heard on the microphone.
Exactly.
Say
Say
hi.
it.
I'm Derek, guys. Hello.
And
I'm Ray Desjardins.
and our guest Ray Desjardins, who was never introduced at the beginning of the show.
No,
'cause
it's good.
we just started recording when we were talking. Was it like
It's true. They didn't even know I was recording, and they just started talking, and I was like, so if you want to just keep going, I've been recording for like 10 minutes, so...
So thank
You're
you
gonna-
for listening to our nonsensical rambling.
Actually, you know what? The nonsensical rambling at the beginning was actually like the show. So I was like, that might as well be in there, because it was just laid back, geeky talk. Why not?